right, here we go with another perspective opportunity for you. Remember, perspective is showing the illusion of depth, and we've been doing things with a vanishing point. We did it with shapes. Maybe you did the extra lesson if you wanted to with your name or letters going towards a vanishing point. I want to do 1 point perspective, which, every year I get to do this with you guys. I have so much fun watching you because it's just such a neat concept, and it's kind of fun that you're getting to create illusion, right? So same supplies that we've been working with, pencil, eraser, straight edge, or ruler. This time we are going to make a horizon line. Horizon line is just a line that goes horizontal or side to side in your picture, just like at the beach if you're looking out at the sunset and you see the horizon where the water and the sky meet. So there's our horizon line. With 1 point perspective, we're going to choose 1 point on our horizon. Do you guys remember? Say it if you remember what this 1 point is called where everything runs or converges. Oh, I heard you. Vanishing point. That's right. Vanishing point. I'm still keeping mine in the center for 1 point. I'm going to show you what it might look like if we were going to, say, draw a town or a road. I'm going to start my pencil at my vanishing point, and I'm going to first add a street down the center of my town. You guys can work along with me. Let's see, not that wide, huh? And then maybe I'm going to draw some lines. Remember that lines further away get smaller. So notice that, I kind of made my lines larger back here, and they get smaller as they go towards my vanishing point. In fact, I think I might split this one in half. This is also going to give us the illusion of depth. It's another way to show perspective. All right, and then I'm going to start by adding a square on the side of my paper. It might be more like a rectangle by the time I'm done. I'm not measuring, I'm just kind of eyeballing. Doesn't have to be perfect. Notice I intersected my horizon line. I went above it and below it. That's fine. We're drawing lightly because we're going to erase. I'm going to take out the horizon line that's in there, and a little high there. I now have a square. And so we might sometimes have drawn a house like this. A square and a triangle on top. Perfectly good, 2-dimensional house. But we're learning about vanishing point and depth and perspective in 3 dimension. So let's make it a 3-dimensional house. I'm going to take the corners that are closest to my vanishing point, and I'm going to lightly draw a line. Corner, corner, and rooftop. Now I'm starting to see the dimension or the perspective of my house going towards the vanishing point or building. All right, and now I just have to decide how big I want my house to be. My house could go all the way back here. That would be a very, very long building. But I think my house is going to stop somewhere about here. Notice I'm just lining the corner, this side of the house up the same way that this was. So this was straight up and down. This will also be straight up and down. For my 4th graders who were working on the cake and how we cut the slice out of the cake, we were using perspective. It's the same concept. You're going to already be used to this, but for some of us, which may be new, I'm going to turn my ruler so that it's the same angle as my roof line. I drew this line, right? So I created it. I can create another one at the same angle just by keeping my ruler at the same slant and adding a line down here. So I did it here. I kept this side of my house parallel to this side. I'm going to also keep my roof lines parallel the same direction as this side. All right, so now we take out the vanishing or the horizon line again. We can take out these extra lines that are headed to the vanishing point, and we just drew a 3-dimensional house on our 2-dimensional paper using perspective. The same would be true if you want to add a door. On the front of the house, it would be flat and 2-dimensional because you're looking straight at it, right? Windows would be the same. I don't know what kind of building this is going to be, but it has some kind of crazy windows here. Ooh, it's 3 stories. All right. But if I draw windows on this side of my house, they're going to be subject, right, under the same rules. as my lines here to my vanishing point. So I might start my lines here, parallel, but I'm going to curve them back to my vanishing point. And now I know that I don't need my lines to go all the way down. I can stop them at the edge of my building. I could probably stop them sooner. A little less erasing now that you're getting the idea. This side of the window will go parallel to the side of the building. And now I have windows down this side of my house in 3D. Oh yeah, pretty cool. So you could go on, you could design a whole city. Let's see, I'm going to try to draw really quick while we're talking here. Let's say that the other side of this is a big city. We could draw, this will be our first building. I always like to start with my two-dimensional flat part of the building that's facing me as the viewer. That's my first line. And I always like to take out these extra lines right away so that my eye doesn't get confused at what I'm looking at. All right, so now I'm going to draw a city. All the way back to my vanishing point. This first building is tall and skinny. I'm just drawing a line that is parallel to the corner of my building. And then this next building I'm going to have be taller. Look at this. I can just draw my lines. The top of this building is going to be subject to the same edge of my vanishing point. So I won't be seeing this line anymore. I won't need that tall line. Now we have two buildings side by side. Let's add another one. Are you saying, what did you do, Miss Larrabee? No, I bet you got it. Okay, so this next one I'm going to make shorter. They're going to look thinner as they get towards the horizon line too. This line's already on its slope, but this line needs to be added to its slope. All right, so I have 3 buildings in my city. It's not a very big city, but that's okay. I have the flat sides to them, but I also need the two-dimensional side as well. So if this line is here, this line, the top corner is going to be there too. And you get to decide how you want it to go all the way over here. Do you want it to end here? Bump. It bumps into the back. All right, let me take this building now. Don't get confused. Sometimes it can get a little, your brain goes, what? It's like a puzzle. Look at your horizon line if you get confused. This top edge of the building is just going to match the horizon line. Bump. The same for the bottom corners of the building. Can erase these extra lines. And there you have it. You have buildings. Oh, I guess these horizon lines in here, it would be great if they were gone too, so you could really see it. And you could add windows just the same that we added them on this side. You could try to make some buildings standing out further, some buildings further back on the road. You could draw a car in perspective. The back would be a little bit bigger. It's the same as just drawing a rectangle here. One other thing I think is fun is power lines. And they're just straight, or a fence. You could do the same idea with a fence. So we're going to just take this straight up and down, parallel with the edge of our paper. Oh, let's do this first. Let's decide where we're going to make a fence instead of power lines. Here's the fence in front of this house. And then we're just going to divide it with parallel lines. It's going to get really wide as it comes close to us here. There's a fence running down the side of the road, blocking the city off from the houses maybe. Remember, as they get further away, they're going to get thinner and closer together. As they get further back, you could add a decorative top to your fence. You get the idea. And then, oh, you know, maybe you would want to keep these lines. If this is a fence, maybe these are fence boards. Bump. Every time you get to one of these, you would say bump. I think I've gotten confused on what's a fence board and what's the space in between them. Anyway, you guys get the picture. I can't wait to see how you design your city. If you get a little confused and you think, what am I doing again? Feel free to email me. It would be fun to chat about it, but I don't think that's going to be a problem. I think you got it. I can't wait to see what kind of city or home you you design. And remember, it's just all about perspective. The lines are either all going to the vanishing point or they're running parallel to the sides and the top of